Bill joins us right now. First of all, before I get into the football aspect of it, Bill, your reaction when you heard Tate Martell is at least exploring, and we would assume he's going to transfer, but at least exploring a transfer. What was your reaction?
Well, first of all, surprised, because you thought this thing, if it was going to happen, would happen after spring if he didn't nail down the number one spot, which leads me to think that maybe there was a conversation that took place, and he was maybe hinted or told that he was not going to be the guy. So, you look at the situation with Justin Fields, who hasn't got cleared yet for that extra year, but you look at who's come back with Baldwin and, Chuganov, the guy, the transfer. Those guys are both taller guys and things like that. They fit more into the Dwayne Haskins mode of quarterback. So, became a surprise, especially after the statements he made out of the Rose Bowl.
No, but Coach, isn't he supposed to at least just go through spring? A lot of things are said. I was talking to Matt about when Mark Garcia came in. Everybody expected Mark to be the quarterback. It didn't, but he had to come and compete with us. Isn't Tate required to go and compete to make sure that he can't be the guy?
Yeah, because here's the other part of it, too. You're exactly right, is that it's probably too late, I would assume. Most schools have already started up their second semester. So
True.
I don't know if he can get into school immediately and get to be part of their spring practices and things like that anyway. We had a number of guys would call me back, thinking about coming to Ohio State. And I said, well, after spring practice, I said, you might as well go through spring practice and see where you fit into the whole program. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm shocked, especially, again, after what he had said at the Rose Bowl, that he's not going to compete in spring practice. Now he may compete if the portal thing doesn't work out. But, man, that's what you're telling the coaching staff. You're looking to get out of here if things don't go well for you.
Yeah, I saw a story, I believe it was on Letterman Row, when this all started breaking, that it could be a time, if he really is going to leave, regarding what you're saying, Bill, because second semesters have started. Typically, it's like if you have to enroll at a school within 2 weeks of the start of the semester in order to be classified as a student that semester. So he may, if he really wants to go, he may have to do real quick and like this week be here and next week be wherever his next destination is, to your point about that.
Yeah.
Or just, as you said, write it out this spring and finish this spring and then make the transfer after that. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens over the next couple of weeks. My question, Bill, is, you've been there in, staff meetings and as a recruiting coordinator. If you're Ryan Day and the coaching staff there and Tate says, I'm exploring a transfer, and you're looking at the depth chart and you're not 100% certain yet, although all indications point that Ohio State thinks Justin Fields will be declared eligible, but we don't know for sure. Are you right now scrambling, for lack of a better way to put it? Do you think that they're going to try to find, whether it's a high school kid before the February signing day, another grad transfer? What do you think the discussions are about the depth at quarterback if indeed Martell leaves?
Yeah, well, first off, if I'm Ryan Day, and this came as a surprise to me, notice I said if it came as a surprise to me, then first of all, I'd be a little ticked off. I probably wouldn't want that kid to be a quarterback if you don't want to compete for it. But here's the other part. You have got to find somebody else. You got to find more depth. Now, to go out and get a high school kid with Justin Fields still really young, I don't know if that's the thing to do. I think they'd have to look at maybe a junior college, community college, or maybe a transfer situation from a bigger school. Guy maybe had some experience at least.
How many quarterbacks typically would you want, scholarship guys, would you want going into the season?
You want a minimum of 3, but probably 4.
Okay. Because if Fields is declared eligible, they got 3. They would have Fields, Baldwin, if Tate leaves, Fields, Baldwin, and Chris Kajunoff. Now, if Fields isn't declared eligible, holy smokes, then you're down to 2 scholarship guys. So 3 is bare minimum.
Yeah, and so it's tough to go out and get another guy of high quality. Plenty of guys out there, but of the high quality. You're not going to be able to go out there and get a Stan Jackson this late or something like that.
That's my question. How do you handle that? Because you do need the quarterback depth. At the same time, I mean, you're sitting there with X number of scholarships, Bill. You do have the Jack Miller kid who's coming into the 2020 class, but that doesn't help you next year.
Right.
You don't want to, for lack of a better way to put it, waste a scholarship on somebody that's probably not going to play. At the same time, though, you kind of need somebody. What are those discussions like? Like, do you talk about, can we get away with just 3 this year and then, fill it next year? How do you handle it?
No, you really don't want to gamble. You can't. I mean, football's a game of that particular season coming up is it. You got to prepare for that season. You can't look on to the future. So you got to have somebody there. Maybe a couple of the walk-on kids are decent, but man, you need somebody that's proven themselves in some way at the college level.
Do you think? Okay, we'll have 2 scholarship guys. Get those ready, and then I've got some walk-on guys. I know I've got a guy coming next year. So this year we'll just rough it, and my emergency guy is going to be the guy that's on my team now that played quarterback in high school. Not that you would use Brendan White in that way, but he played quarterback. I think Gill probably played some quarterback. Couldn't you do it that way?
Yeah, if you think they have the ability to only if you think they got the ability to really finish a game for you, because you can lose in 2 plays. You can lose 2 quarterbacks.
Right. Well, remember,
so you got to have some confidence the guy can be a finisher. It
was Georgia and Hines Ward, right? Isn't that where
Hines Ward did play at Georgia? Yes.
And they lost their 2 quarterbacks, and they put him back to quarterback when he played in high school.
Well, I think of the 2004 Alamo Bowl that Ohio State won against Oklahoma State. And this year was the new redshirt rule, Bill, where it wouldn't be a factor. You could bring somebody in. But they didn't want to waste a year of eligibility for Todd Beckman.
Right.
And Justin Zwick was the only quarterback they had because Troy Smith had been suspended. And then Zwick scrambling came up gimpy. And they put Ted Ginn at quarterback for 4 or 5 plays.
Right.
And then Justin ended up being okay.
Well, and Arkansas did the same thing with McFadden. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
That's where the Wildcat was born because their quarterback situation was.
Bill, if somebody gets hurt, just run Wildcat with J.K. Dobbins as you're receiving the snap every play.
There you go.
Hey, there may be a couple of guys that go in that role.
Yeah,
you're going to go that route.
Exactly right. Exactly. Hey, Bill.
But I really think you have to have 3 guys that you have pretty good confidence in can get the job done.
All right. Hey, Bill. Thanks for joining us on the fly here. Interesting insight there. Appreciate it. That is
never a dull moment.
No, there isn't. Boy, especially this last week.